I always forget to take a thumbnail. Yeah? Sure, I'll have a bite. Huh? I just realized I just filmed this whole video and I realized I didn't make my bed at all. Like, my bed is not doing well right now. So guys, I start school in a week and I'm trying to learn Greek right now. Tell me, do you know Greek or can help me learn Greek? Because I have no idea what to do. This is my Greek paper right now. It's like alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu. Anyways, it's exhausting, so.
I'm listening and I'm like, oh, I need these tips.
So side note, my tattoo is healing. So you're seeing it. Just had to get that out of the way before we start the video. What is up, you guys? It is Katy Patty, and today you're in my room that I just recently decorated. Me and Erin, my roommate, we decorated this room the other night, and so I'm trying to play around with like where I like to film and like my filming areas and things like that. Let me know if you guys like this. I did try to do like a different space a couple months ago, but like I hated it. I really didn't like it. It just, the lighting wasn't good, like nothing was good. And so I like this one because there's natural light and I get to just sit in my bed and talk to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this setup. But that's not even what today's video is about. Today's video is about a quiet time routine with God and how important it is, and I'm also going to share my quiet time routine with God, which I try to do every night. I try to get into that routine because I think it's super important to build that discipline and to build that motivation so that even if you don't feel motivated, you still do it. We'll talk a lot more about that in the video today. But yeah, before we get on to the video, don't forget to go like and subscribe to this channel for more. I want you here. I want you a part of the Katy Patty fam. So go hit that subscribe button, go hit that like button, go follow my Instagram and TikTok at katyy.patyy with 2 Y's on each side. Let's just get right into the video. A little side note is I was having a kind of bad morning because I'm just really stressed about a lot of things in my life, like church and school and I don't know, just like jobs and stuff like that. And so my roommate Erin made me a cup of tea and it says, "Good morning, beautiful bestie." God has blessed me with her. I love it. And my other roommate, Katy, too. I love her. So I really want this video to be something like it's just that we're sitting, having a cup of coffee, talking, girl talk. Or if you're a guy, cool, you're here too. But just like no makeup, just like super casual video because I miss just sitting down and talking to you guys because I don't feel like I've done that in a while. I've just done like vlogs or videos with other people, and so just talking to you guys and talking about our relationship with God. So yeah, a relationship is built off of 3 things. And if you've been following me for a while, I say this so much. This is my favorite thing to say. But a relationship, like any relationship, whether that is relationship with a boy or your family or friends or something, is built off of 3 things, and it's the exact same with God. It's built off of communication, spending time with the person, and getting to know the person. Those 3 principles is what I build my routine off of. Is 1, communication, praying with God, talking to him, building that prayer life. 2, spending time with him, going away and like spending time alone with him and not just doing a whole bunch of things, just going to church a lot and going to small group a lot and going to youth group a lot, and like those are all great things that you should be doing and that we as Christians are called to do in fellowship. But it's also important to spend some time alone with God and develop that intimate relationship with God, and then get to know the person. So how do you like actually serve someone you don't know? How do you trust someone you don't know? And so that's the same with God, is like getting to know him, getting to know the God we serve, getting to know his character, who he is, what he's done for us, the stories of the Bible and how they play into our lives. And so those 3 things is what we're going to be building today off of. But I want to show you first in the Bible about how Jesus actually did spend time with God and like went off and prayed and went off and actually spent time with God. So we should be using that as an example in our own lives. Little tea break. These are all talking about Jesus. So Matthew 14 verse 23 says, "After he had sent the crowds away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray, and when it was evening, he was there alone." And the next one is Luke chapter 6 verse 12. "It was at this time he went off to the mountain to pray. He spent the whole night in prayer to God." Mark 6 verse 46 says, "After bidding them farewell, he left for the mountain to pray." In Mark chapter 1 verse 35 it says, "In the early morning while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went away to a secluded secluded place, and there he was praying. All of these are Bible verses saying that Jesus actually went time alone and spent time with God and prayed and communicated and talked to God. And that is something we should take as an example for it. And just to disclaim, so many times that I've been there in like my whole 1.5 year journey of being a Christian and giving my life to Christ, there have been times where I have fallen into legalism, which legalism is basically a rules-based faith where you have to check off amount of certain boxes to be loved or whatever. But what I want to say to you is you are no more loved for doing these things or no less loved for doing these things. God's love for you will never change, and that's something that you can't earn, you can't gain by doing works, you just are loved for either being a son or daughter of a king. Like, you're just loved for being his creation. There's nothing you can do to make him love you more. And so all of these things, yes, they are great tools to help you grow in your faith and continue to grow and become more Christ-like and learn more about him and build your relationship. But these things are in no way, shape, or form a way for you to gain love, gain salvation. Our salvation is not a works-based salvation. We don't have to work for God's love or work our way to heaven, and these things are not those. I just want to disclaim that, as I have definitely fallen into the trap of legalism and thought like, oh, if I do these things, God will love me more or whatever. But that is not the case. And so sometimes like I'll be doing these routines for like maybe 2 weeks or a week, and then I'll spice it up and do like a different day something else. Or if I miss a day, that's okay, because I'm still loved and God's not mad at me for skipping a day or missing a day or something. But I do think it's super important to get into the routine for motivation, for continuing to do it. Don't let this be a whole bunch of rules or something you have to do, but something that you get to do to grow in your relationship with God. Also, like sometimes, like I kind of just previously mentioned, I spice it up. I don't always do this every single day, but some days like I focus more on prayer, and some days I focus more on worship, and some days I read my Bible longer, or vice versa, or whatever, or I go on a date with God, or whatever it may be. But I just think that this is a good like standard kind of thing that I fall back on when I do it and when I do my time with God alone. Let me tell you what I do. So I suggest setting aside time daily, whether you're a morning person and you want to do it in the morning, or whether you're a night owl and you want to do it at night, or maybe in the middle of the day works best for you. Just set aside a time that works the best for you and might always work the best for you. Like for me, I'm a big night owl. Like I can stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning just like because I can't sleep. And so I prefer doing mine at night because that's also like my safe place. Like that's like where I go at the end of the day, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to spending time with God and just having that intimate relationship with God and like telling him about my day and ranting to him and breaking down and crying and all this. And so I do it when I like right before bed. Also helps me with temptation, because if, for those of you who don't know, I used to struggle with like porn and lust and all that. And so doing it at night rather than scrolling on my phone till really late in the morning or whatever, it helps me with that temptation. And like the last thing I think about, the last thing I see is not like an Instagram explore page, but it's the Bible. So I really suggest that if you struggle with temptation in that area, like I do. The first thing I do is I like to put on worship music while I am journaling. Put on your favorite worship playlist, put on your favorite like worship song, and then the first thing I do is I journal. So this is my journal. I got it from Elevated Faith actually, and I actually have a coupon code if you do want to like purchase this journal or purchase a journal. I got this a couple months ago, so I don't know if it's still there, but I love it. It's my favorite. It just says transformed in the waiting. I'll leave the coupon code down below. But every single night I just title it God, and then I write the day, and then I journal for about a page or two. And I'm not going to show you guys my prayers because that's super intimate. Yeah, I just every single day I write down a prayer. If you're struggling with things to pray about, there's so many things to pray about, whether that's giving thanks to God, praying for people in your community or your family who haven't found Christ yet, praying for him continue to make you more Christ-like and sanctify you, which is like basically the process of becoming more Christ-like. There's prayer for repentance and like repenting to God and wanting to change, or there's prayer and like, God, I'm stressed about this and I need peace, or whatever it may be. Just there's so many things to pray about, and so spend that time praying. And I usually spend about like 10-15 minutes, sometimes half an hour, sometimes 5 minutes. Like it really just depends on the day of how much I spend in prayer. So first, put on worship music, then I do prayer. Third is read scripture. And you see how these are all kind of based off of those 3 things that I said, like communication, spending time with the person, and getting to know the person. This is getting to know God. And so if you're just starting, I suggest starting with a chapter from the New Testament and then a chapter from the Old Testament. So when I just first started, because I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now, is I went through John, a chapter or 2 chapters a day. I went through John, and there I learned about the character of Jesus, who Jesus was, what he's done for us. And so just getting in that routine routine of a chapter or 2 a day in John, and then 1 in Psalm, because in Psalm, you again learn that honest relationship with God, and you learn and hear the prayers of the authors and the psalmists, and you see like who God is, and you get encouragements, you get honesty prayers and all that. And so I really suggest those 2. So if you're just starting, because that's where I started and I personally really liked it. But right now I'm currently going through Joshua, and then again I'm still reading Psalm again. I've already read it, but I want to read it for another encouragement just in the season of life that I'm in. And so I read about 2-ish chapters, maybe 3 if I'm feeling frisky, of Joshua, and then 1 or 2 chapters of Psalm, and then that just gets me in the routine. So yeah, I really suggest just getting in a routine or a habit of like a Bible reading plan. There's lots of great Bible reading plans out there on like BibleReadingTools.com and stuff like that, or even the Bible Project. I also have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel about like where to start in the Bible and like how to start studying the Bible and like resources to help you study the Bible. So I'll leave them down below, or if I forget, just go look and they are there. So I really suggest you go watch those to help you like learn more about how to actually read the Bible. So guys, I hope this video helped. I just want to encourage you is like starting a relationship with God and building that relationship with God is the best decision I've ever made in my life. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, and I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, but I'm saying that it will change your life and it will change your heart, and you'll slowly see that God is changing your heart. Just the things you prayed for and you wrote in your prayer journal, you see them come to fruition, and you see God actively like answer your prayers, and maybe not in the way you expected. And so I really suggest you starting that. And I forgot, I didn't even mention what Bible I have. I have this ESV version of the Bible. It's just like black, and I got it from Chapters, and I really like it. So anyways, I love you guys, and I hope this video helped, and I will see you in the next one. See you later. Bye.